Question, we will begin with Richard Morello, work our way that way, and then come back this way. The Vaughan official plan is pretty clear on building height and density limitations for most parcels of land within the city. Often, developers come to council with planning applications asking for building height or density approvals that exceed the limits imposed by the Vaughan official plan. If elected, would you consistently oppose planning applications that ask for building heights and densities that exceed the limits imposed by the Vaughan official plan? We'll begin with Richard Morello.
That's a great question, Anthony, and the Vaughan official plan is not actually a plan, it's actually a moving target. Where I come from, a plan is a plan, and you stick to the plan, because the Vaughan official plan, for whether it's Vaughan or whether it's the City of Toronto or whether it's Markham, this is the vision of your city. When people come and try to amend it, they're actually saying, we want to change the vision of the city. And we're actually asking for more. We're asking for more density. This is the problem I have with the plan. Every time you go and listen at a public hearing, you hear time and time again that an organization is coming forward and they want something more. And the problem I have with it as well is that instead of defending the plan, many times one council will accept the amendment without putting up much of a fight, without defending the plan, and sometimes defending the plan actually means going to the OMB and defending your plan. It is your vision. And the other part of it is that I see ratepayers associations, when they raise their own money, when they raise their own funds to fight at the OMB, Vaughan Council might be listening, but they're not acting. And this is the problem I have with it. It leaves people out on their own to raise their own funds, that they have to hire lawyers and go to the OMB and defend their interests. This is something that I would oppose, and you try to stick to the plan as close as possible. Thank you.
We're moving on to Chief.
Thank you. Yes, we do have an official plan that we have established, and we have over 100 appeals of that plan before the board. And we are defending our plan. Okay, we can stop the appeal. We cannot stop people applying for it. But what we do is we stick to the plan and defend it. We don't always succeed at the board, but we do our very best to making sure that our official plan is respected. Any official plan is reviewed every 5 years. And the amendments that sometimes come, if they're minor in nature and there is no opposition, they may be approved. But we have had many situations. I can think of the North Thornhill plan, where there is an application for intensifying the area, and this council has taken a very strong position against it, and we have taken a strong position against many others. And we have come to the board many occasions. Sometimes we win, sometimes we don't. But in most cases, we protect our official plan, and we do the reviews on a periodical basis, so I said every 5 years, which we are required to do by the provincial government. We had another situation on Highway 27, and some of us voted against changing anything in the protection and interest of the community in that area. So it's not entirely accurate to say that we're just letting things go. We are fighting on your behalf.
We're moving on to Jen.
Yeah, this question is pretty straightforward for me. I have been consistent on council from the day I got in there, even though I don't support everything that the official plan did. Once I got in, I tried to reverse the expansion. That was not accepted by the rest of council. After that, I've been supporting it. There is a real problem with the planning regime in Ontario. The OMB is not respecting our official plan. Despite that, I have been at the council table as a resident's voice, consistently asking our council to stay with the official plan, turn down those applications that don't support the official plan, and if we have to take it to the board, I'd like to rather go to the board and show that we're willing to defend our official plan, not keep giving up on it because we're afraid we might lose. There is the real risk that we might lose, but I'd like to darn fight it out because that's the commitment we need to have. So going forward, I just have to tell you, I will continue to fight on behalf of the residents for what the commitment is in the official plan. That's where I'm at. Sorry, I run out of time. I don't know what. I got 10 seconds. Okay, so it is a problem. I think the next thing we need to do, at the very beginning of the term, the new term, is to start pushing the province for OMB reform. So we can take that
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, an official plan, there's a review of the official plan every 5 years. And the official plan that was approved September 2010, it's still at the Ontario Municipal Board. It's not fully completed, approved. It's not approved yet. So here we're starting a review of a new official plan next year, and now we still have to deal with the old one. There's been over 200 cases gone to the OMB. Everybody's asking for higher densities, higher height. And that's what's happening right now with the secondary plan that we just approved here for Vaughan Mills and across the road, Western Road, across from Western Down. They're asking for residential densities in the area right adjacent to you on Western Road. And they're asking for twice the densities on James Street near Vaughan Mills. We're at the board. We're fighting them. Who knows what the board is going to do? So that's reality right now. And I think the Ontario Municipal Board, somehow, we should reform it or abolish it. So that once you have an official plan, you know that for 5 years, it's not going to change. Thank you.
Thank you. So the official plans serve as a means of protection, as a means of establishing community standards that everybody can rely on, so that when development happens, it has to happen within the framework that was approved, and to continually amend it and not stand by those is a situation that doesn't serve the community well. I've had many people say to me, well, what the heck is the use of coming to meetings? What's the purpose of speaking when you guys are going to change it anyway? You're not going to follow it, you know? And I think to restore the confidence in the people that we represent, I think it's our obligation, our duty to stay with the official plan. Now, not every plan is perfect, but you know, to the extent that it is possible, we must defend our official plan.
Well, this is a very interesting question because this is not, the way I see it is it's not one of these issues where you can just take a round peg and put it in a round hole and a square peg and put it in a square hole. An official plan, when it is not developed properly and it doesn't include extensive community involvement, what ends up happening is that the development community and the community for which people are already living in are at loggerheads. That doesn't serve anyone well. We don't have irresponsible developers. We have developers that are going to move forward in Vaughan because they know the rules and they know that they can push the envelope. Now that's a culture that's developed over time. But what needs to happen at this point in time is that Vaughan has to start to develop clear policies of community involvement. And where, for example, a low-rise residential area immediately abuts the official plan that says, in fact, there's going to be 25 stories in your backyard, that doesn't make any sense. And those are the kind of official plans that need to be changed. So that's number one. It's not a good answer for everything. But second of all, what we need to do is we need to
multi-use residential buildings, so that there's 2 or 3 stories on the
Thank you,
bottom.
Ms. Liddy. I have to stop you there. We're going to move into the 90-second cross debate on this issue.
I just want to respond to something that Mr. Rosati said, Rosati said. And I want to give you an example of how Mr. Rosati has defended the official plan. Case in point, Major Mac and Pine Valley. There's nothing there. Yet, without a fight, there's 98 units going up there. And I know this community is going to be impacted by that. That is Mr. Rosati's way of defending the plan. A comment that I'll make to Mr. Dibiase is that there's a reason when plans don't get passed 4 years after they've been introduced. It's because there's a problem with the plan. The plan is flawed. The plan hasn't been approved because they're still looking at it. They still see issues with it. So if we do proper planning, submit a plan that makes sense, that is responsible.
Actually, Richard, I have to write in there, the plan is, it's not necessarily the plan is flawed, it's that the developers want more than what was agreed. To me, the bond official plan was an agreement we made with the public on where and how we were going to grow.
Okay,
And the
but I'm
developers,
just
just to
interrupt
interrupt
you
the
there.
developers don't want to respect
The
that,
bond
and they're
official
forcing us
plan,
to OMB.
when
And
it
that's
doesn't
why we're having a
include the
problem.
community,
That's why OMB
it's not
reform is
fair
the most
to
important
blame
thing
everything
that we need to do in this
on
next
the
summer.
developer.
Now, we've all
Okay.
mentioned the OMB here and the reform there, but we have to recognize that some of the cynicism that the public has, or a lot of it, frankly, comes back to the history of planning by city council. Decisions over other decisions. There is a history that is somewhat less than satisfactory to people, and we have to change that.
With that ends cross debate on this issue.